so Robbie actually has some Annonas here, and so can you tell us what varieties they are and anything about the fruit that you've heard?
So this is an African Pride Adamoya. It leans more towards a chewy variety, which a lot of Southeast Asian people like. Clean tasting Annona. As all Adamoyas, this is very tasty. Mixture of Squamosa and Cherry Moya. This grows very popular in California and the drier part. The more chewier variety kind of leans more towards Cherry Moya, and they like a little dry. The more mushier variety of Adamoya likes a little warmer, like more lean towards Squamosa, lean less towards Cherry Moya. This is actually, I got to take a look. This is a Page Adamoya. This is a rare one actually. I don't know who has it. This is a Pink's Mammoth. This is a
Pink's Mammoth?
Pink's Mammoth. It's a large Adamoya, Australian.
I don't know anybody who has that locally.
This is a
Trevor?
It's a Trevor white custard apple. So this is a Annona Reticulata, but a lot of Reticulatas have a berry flavor. This is more like a neutral flavor. No berry, no fruity taste. It's just like a clean custard apple, more like a yogurt kind of, like a dairy kind of taste, not a fruity taste. So people who don't like berry flavor or that off flavor of a fruity vegetable flavor, this is that. This is this. I got to take a look at this because it's hard to tell. This is the Thailand Lychee. This is a Thai Squamosa. It's one of the Thailand sugar apples. That's good. These are some other varieties. That's a goji berry that's fruiting. Let me show you the other Annonas. Come on down this way. That's a yerba mate. That's a drink, caffeine drink. These are coconut, citrus.
Did you put the ponds on the property, or?
There was a pond. It was 80% that size. I increased it by 20% and made it deeper. I dug up moved it, so raised it higher.
Yeah.
Smell this citrus. It's the Portugal Citrus. It's unique. It makes a tangerine that's very sweet. Most people don't have that. See, let me show you something interesting. You see a tree that's growing sideways, you would think it's about to fall off. This tree is more stable than a tree that's standing tall. You can't fell something that's already fallen. So this is hurricane resistant. What happened to those two? You can see 1, 2 papayas. Trees that grow tall get whacked, fall off. Trees that grow sideways do better.
So was that an intentional thing? Or
yes, that was intentional. I planted it at an angle. And as an experiment, I see that's the one that survives the most, wind resistant. Because the tree under pressure would grow fibers to oppose that pressure, just like our muscles. If you load it up, it's going to get stronger. Same way that fruit tree is going to create those fibers and the polysaccharide where it gets stressed, so it will get stronger. Picture. Okay, talking about Adamoyas, this is where a priestly Adamoya was, but the thing died due to some disease. So this is a priestly Adamoya tag I have. This is also a good Adamoya. But I have a tree inside the greenhouse that I'm going to replace this with. Okay, so this is a Dream Annona Wayne Clifton is the one who selected this variety. Excellent tasting fruit. That's another dream. No, it's not dead, it's just dormant. With most Adamoyas and Annonas, the leaves, the buds come from under the leaf, so it's better to strip them off. But this is a Page Adamoya that's bigger. That's a Bradley Adamoya, and yes, I have a little bit fruit on them. They all fruited heavily. Even though it's winter time, it's not the best time to film an Annona tree right now. That's a sugar apple, green sugar apple, regular green one, Annona squamosa. This is another green one, which you can see there is some fruit there hanging right now, but it might be a little more, a few more. Look at that. This tree, this size, had around 65 fruits. This was loaded. I put a video on Facebook. This was loaded. I don't need a giant tree. This is why you see it's only 8 feet apart. Because I just want to pick the fruit and done. Hurricane racing. All right, so this is so that was Bradley. This is another Adamoya called Birula or Super Lisa. This makes great fruit. That's the regular Lisa. 4816, 4826, I'm sorry. That's a red Geffner, 4718. The fruit is red and pretty. I have not tasted it. Mine never fruited, so I don't know. That's the Lisa, Super Lisa. This is an Indian Sitafal. Well, all sugar apples are called Sitafal in India. But this is a super Sitafal, makes this big of a fruit, like about 1.5 pounds. And it's a pure Annona squamosa. Look how different the leaves are. It's like more rounded than a typical squamosa. This is the red purple squamosa, just like that was the green one, those two. This is the red one. This is a Pet Pak Chong Adamoya, more clean, and that's another Pet Pak Chong. Within Pet Pak Chong there's like a couple of cultivars. One's more round, one's more elongated, one's like heart shaped, and they all taste different. That's a Australian Adamoya called Paxton's Prolific. It's not doing well because of the way it was shipped, but this is another Annona squamosa. It came from Vietnam. It is supposedly a chewy variety. This is another Australian Adamoya. This is Tim's. There's like 3 types of Australian Adamoya usually: Paxton Prolific, Hillary White, and Tim's. So this is the Tim's. That was the Paxton Prolific. I don't have the Hillary White. But they all defoliate in the winter. They are perfectly healthy. They would do that in their native place. This is nothing wrong with the tree. Those are different. These are now, this is, okay, so let's go there. These are custard apples. This is a Annona reticulata. I'm forgetting the name. This is the Tikal. This is the Tikal, extremely rare. I don't even know if Harmadim has this tree, but he knows everything about Annona. I don't think even he has this one.
I've been after that tree for years.
This is a Tikal. All right, this is a unique sugar apple that I don't know who has it. Some people have it. This is a seedless Annona squamosa, no seeds. Taste is good. All right, so that is a Fernandez custard apple. Fernandez happens to be the neighbor of Julie and Laura, and that's where I got it from. It's red, dark red inside, excellent.
Have you tasted it?
I have not tasted it. This is a small tree. Tikal reticulata, Fernandez reticulata. All right, this is a Sartanaya custard apple. Harmadim knows about it, but I don't think he has it. I have it. Sartanaya. This is a Vino Tinto. a great color.
Has it produced for you here? The Vino Tinto?
No, but it's recent.
Yeah,
I'll make it produce.
Yeah.
This is the Annona jungle. They got no choice. This is a green custard apple, green reticulata. I have a lot of reticulata, as you can see. Most people don't like it. It's mushy. I love it because I like more mushier tasting fruit. This is from India. This one has just like a dairy flavor. Like eating this is almost like eating yogurt. It has no fruit taste. So that's the kind I like more. It had fruited, and you got to keep the fruit like bag it first, then keep it in the fridge. It's delicious. This was the Sartanaya, yes. That's another reticulata. It's called Kimber Red. Kimber Red is not as colorful, but it has green and red and pink hue. Some people describe it as tasting like a birthday cake. This is a San Pablo, the most common one, but it's a seedling of a San Pablo, so it's a little different. I have a grafted San Pablo there. The bigger tree you see behind there, that's a grafted San Pablo. So the only custard apples I'm missing is probably Canul, and I'm not happy about that. This is a cherry Latte. It is a cherry Moya and a reticulata hybrid. It tastes good.
You've had them?
I have not had them. No, I did not. But it has a red. Think of it as a red.
It's really good.
It's supposed to be good. Unlike the red Geffner, which I hear just color. That's all. This one is like a cherry Moya but red in color. So this is good tasting. So those are a couple of my soursops. Those I guess also fall in the Annona. Yeah, they get a little beat up in the cold because I'm a little colder than average. But if you notice, I might have some fruits on this one. I don't know, the fruit fell off or what, but yeah, they don't like cold. Yeah, this one had a big fruit. It's got some fruit. The fruits apparently are more cold hardy than the leaves are. These are just regular soursops. That's another soursop. One of them is extremely sweet and no sourness. I think that one. But you see how the trees are bending due to wind? Leave them like that. Don't try to straighten it. You're trying to go against nature if you're straightening it. It's going to bend again, you'll waste time. Keep it like that. In fact, do what nature wants to do. Bend it more towards where it's bending. Make it 45 degrees. What you want to do is just cut it here, prune it. That's all. We should work with nature, not against it. Sorry.
No. I wanted to ask you. You know, the fruit that was on that tree over there, the soursop, evidently dropped. So, are you expecting it to flower again after the cold weather, and then it's at another?
Yes, as you see, there are lots of small fruits here. There's lots of fruits that are going to turn into fruits. The fruits did not drop. There's a lot of small fruits. This one had a fruit. I can't find it. This had a fruit. But anyways. No, but the fruits did not die. It will continue to have fruits. They are all alive. You see the tip of it.
So they just set fruit. I mean, it looks
yes.
Very.
Yes, and I get 5 degrees colder here, which I believe is a small factor for soursop. Like if I had a soursop in zone 10B, it might lose a little less leaves. But I don't think that's a big deal. It does grow here, as you see. And fruits here. Perfect. All right, so this is a very rare Annona. This is Annona salzamani, beech sugar apple. Delicious fruit. Fruit tastes like mixture of banana and pineapple. Out of the rare Annonas, this is actually a tasty fruit. It's from the rainforests of Amazon.
Is that the one with the hairs on it?
No.
No. Which one is that?
The hairs is Annona spraguei.
Spraguei.
That fruit does not taste good. This is Annona montana. That was a Annona graveolens. This is the Montana mountain soursop. The leaves have that more alkaloid, cancer-fighting one. So this tree is more hardy, as you can see. It's one of the pine trees fell on it and smashed it, grew back right up. That's a good tree, Sonkoya, Annona purpurea. It has flowers. It needs a little hand pollination, but I'll do that spring. It does have flowers. I thought this tree was tropical. It's actually not. It just got beat up due to transplantation. This is a China jackfruit, Chempedak and jackfruit hybrid. It doesn't affect the cold. Can take cold. I have a mini greenhouse there that I did myself just with the plastic and some electrical conduits.
So just to protect some in-ground?
Oh, there are some good stuff in there. This is a Miami soursop.
From Julian again.
From Julian, and that's the Soursop Grenadia. This is supposedly a little more cold hardy. Some people in zone 9B even grows this. You see, this one didn't lose much leaves, but these two lost leaves. But as the tree gets older, it'll take a little more cold. Plus, when the others grow bigger, it'll probably protect it a little bit. These are blimby. That's my breadfruit. That fruited already. Delicious fruit. I actually ate them uncooked, ripe. Most people don't know that. Most people think of breadfruit.
It's gorgeous. It has,
with all the cold, right?
Yeah, withstood the cold really well. Is that a particular type of breadfruit?
It's called a Ma'afala. It is one of the most popular ones. Ma'afala breadfruit, Artocarpus altilis.
Is it more cold tolerant than the other?
Yes, it is. It's a little more cold tolerant than the other. Because I have another breadfruit there. It's from Tonga region. It's from one of the Samoan islands that did not like cold. It dropped all the cold leaves. This one seemed to keep it. You can peek through it a little bit. This is all some of the caledangs and marangs are in there. Again, these trees, the funny thing is they hate cold when they are young. When they get bigger, they can take up to freezing, 32. So the idea of the plastic is to just protect them when they're young and then take it off.
So how big do they have to get to really
touch the ceiling?
Okay.
I would like 8 feet.
When they start outgrowing this, then you just take it down.
Oh, I take it down if they haven't used it up. Yeah. Let them use it up before taking it down. That's another Annona Rollinia deliciosa. Annona mucosa. I think they changed the name to Mucosa. That's like snotty kind of texture.
Apple, yeah.
I don't like this fruit. Some people like it. Some people say there's a different variety that tastes good.
You have to get it at the right point too, because if it goes past, it earns its name.
Right. Okay. But this one, I had a fruit from this one. This one, not my favorite.
So what you're saying is you might be grafting something onto it?
I might. I'll probably get rid of it and plant a durian maybe. Better use of the space. This is another lemon drop seedling. You know, with these trees, it's such a variation is there. Some could be sweet and tasty, some could be sour, so I want to wait till I taste the fruit. If it's good, I'll keep it. Some of the trees are going to go. I got several kinds of kaimitos. That's a purple kaimito. Sorry, that's a white one. That's a purple one. That's from Zil, another white one. That's another purple one. That's a red kaimito. Most people don't have that. Most people don't even know what a red kaimito is. There is a yellow kaimito and a red kaimito, different from a purple one. See how different the...
So it looks like your leaves on the kaimito are extra shiny. Do you spray it with something?
I don't spray, they're just healthy.
Wow.
They just fed organically. Yeah. Kaimitos like cold, they don't have problem with cold. See, some of them have fruits on them. So kaimitos you always want in a cluster. They love cross-pollination. You put one tree, it's rarely going to fruit. is a red kaimito. Most people don't have that. That's a Hippolito kaimito from Julian Laura. Makes baseball-sized fruit. So
From the Dominican Republic?
yes, that's exactly what it is. I have another fruit called Indian star apple or Indian kaimito that was inside the greenhouse. Makes yellow fruit and it's also star-shaped. It's a little cold sensitive because it's from the tropical regions of India. So I didn't want to plant it outside and kill it. So that's yellow in color. So that's all the kaimito. All these are going to be the wax jambu, syzygium family stuff. You're talking about Malay apple, rose apple, like 10 different varieties of wax jambu, like number 10. Some are more pink, some are elongated, some are round and sour. All kinds are there. This is the Inga. It's mostly the Inga vera, medium-sized fruit. Not those are Santols. 1, 2, 3, 4 Santols. They don't like the cold, apparently. Those peanut butter fruit. Right behind that, that's the Belle Fruit. The Belle Fruit is considered holy in India. But I've never tasted a good one in Florida. It tastes like nasty. But that one supposedly tastes good. I hope so. You have to get one that's good from the source. This is an Aki. That's a butter Aki. The butter Aki grows better. See how vigorous the growth is, but they look same. I prefer the butter Aki. It's more mushy, which I like. This is more crunchy, which most people like this one. Fruits pretty well. The butter Aki doesn't like to fruit much, but it tastes great. But they're all healthy. This is a rose apple. Did not fruit, but it should next year. Again, all my trees are 2.5 years ago I planted it, so they got some time. That's a variegated wax jambu, makes pink kind of fruit. It's okay, decent tasting. Those are a couple of tamarind trees that I got as a small 1-gallon pot. They have already started to fruit in 2 years. They like to be pruned. That's when they fruit better.
So you're going to keep them at that size?
Size. How am I going to eat that much tamarind out of a big tree and using up the bigger the tree, the more land they use. The bigger their roots are, more food they use. This is the most size. They're going to get whacked in the spring. Again, they grew too big for my liking. Nobody can eat. Like there is tamarinds here, as you can see. I mean, it's loaded with tamarind. Come here, Scott. Yeah. So this is a Thai Wilson variety. I have a sweet variety there. And I also have a Spanish tamarind or a Chinese tamarind. That makes a round fruit, round one in the front. This is the regular tamarind, which is, and I mean, this is more than enough. This is too much tamarind.
Yeah, unless you cook with it every day.
Which I do, and still that's too much. Yeah. You eat it with salt?
Yeah. No, they're good, but they're...
You want some sour stuff.
Absolutely
I like them ripe. Sorry.
Most people in where it's from like them actually green with salt. These are a couple of Psidiums, Cattley guavas. That's the orange. That's the This is the strawberry, and that's the lemon. They're both really good. Yeah, they do like full sun. They're not going to fruit well if you put them in the shade.
Do you have problems with the guava fruit fly up here?
No, no.
Lucky. Mine just get invaded with them.
Those are peaches, fruited, perfectly fine. Florida Prince, Tropic Beauty. There's another one called Tropic Snow or something like that. You want one of those three. Here's a red hog plum, delicious taste. Like this is big fruit, juicy. I have not tasted anything better than from this tree, and I'm not saying it because it's my tree. This is really good. That's the yellow one, it's okay. There is one behind there, that's purple hog plum. That's good too. It's a little chalky, so you got to roll it and suck the juice out and throw it out. That's all. That's how you eat that one. Those are my three peaches. This is a jujube, Indian jujube. You can get one. This is about to get ripe, but every year you got to cut it, whack it down. The fruit forms more on the new growth than on the old one. This is Grumichama. I got 6 of them. That's one of the best tasting. Eugenias is a Grumichama until I didn't know. Now, after doing a lot of shopping around, this is probably, it's still within top 10, but at the bottom of the top 10. So there are some that I cannot pronounce the name. There are some Eugenias people are hunting down in Brazil, and I got those. I got seedlings of those. Seeds, I'm just starting out with those. So this is it's a small jujube. That's the wild Indian jujube. It's a little more sour. This is a Chiku Zapodia. This is the Zapodia. This is a seedling from India that makes round, small fruits. It's very sweet. It's pretty good actually. This is very small, like a golf ball size fruit and round. That's an OX Zapodia. That's a Silo Wood dwarf. That's a Molix. That's a Hasia. And I have butterscotch and Alano over there. So I have
The entire collection?
no, you can never have entire collection. These are white Zapodias. Again, plenty producing fruit. You just want them 6 foot tall. You cannot eat those. Even with a 6 to 8 feet tree, you're going to get 200 fruits. I mean, you're not going to finish those. There's 4 or 5 varieties I got. I got Bestonia, Bonita Springs, Young Hands, Redlands, Subel. So like USDA is one. USDA white Zapodia is one of my favorite. It's sweet and small, not that big. The Subel is bigger one, less flavor. The smaller fruit is better flavor. I like this jujube too. That's another Vexator. Yeah, it's fruited. That's a black Zapodia. I don't think anybody cares about that black Zapodia. Now, being in Loxahatchee allows me to grow certain things that you would have problems with. This is a Fuyu persimmon, fruited. Lychee is another thing. I have a slight advantage, and lychee is a great fruit. I believe, I don't know. Okay, this is a tropical persimmon, but that should grow at anywhere. There was a Sayo persimmon. I think it should grow, but it got a disease, and I was hesitant to spray anything toxic to it. It fruits a lot. Right now, it's not the best time for it, looks like. This is a pomelo, but
wow. It certainly is.
Yes, it is a pomelo. There's no doubt about it. That's a finger lime. There is like 12, 13 varieties of finger lime. This is a marsh grapefruit, seedless. That's a Ray Ruby and that's a Ruby Red. They all taste good.
So you don't have any troubles with the canker or the greening?
There are a few things you have to do. So the greening is caused by the Huang Longbing bacteria.
Right.
Produces, it's carried by a pest called ACP, Asian citrus psyllid. Few things you can do to prevent it from doing that. Oil is one, just plain oil. You can use canola oil, which I don't use canola oil, but you can use a mineral oil. That makes it harder for them to land and lay the eggs. Spinosad is another one. Doctor's Bonner soap is another one. You can mix all those 3 combined, oil, spinosad, and spinosad is a bacteria that will kill leaf miners as well as most pests. So spinosad, mineral oil, Doctor's Bonner soap. Spray it twice a month. A lot of work, but as a start, it's great to have a citrus, but it's just a fun thing to look at, a tree full of citrus. Plus it tastes better than half the trees I'm collecting just for the sake of collecting. This actually tastes good. So why not have it? I mean, you can see, I mean, yeah, it got a little blemish and all that, but I got fruits. I mean, I take these and make juice out of it, and you can't beat that.